All right, welcome back. I'm joined again by Frank Morano to wrap up the day and the week, so it's a doubleheader. Frankie's with me, and he's been working a nice cigar the whole segment, so I'm going to break mine out right now to join him in the wrap up here. Frank, just to pick up on what we were talking about there, you're saying you get asked every day by people how many people are listening to the radio show.
Yeah, just about every day. Yeah. By the way, I enjoyed that segment with the Unlock New Jersey panel. And if people are interested in signing that petition, whether you live in New Jersey or not, you can go to unlocknewjersey.com or unlocknj.com. I think they bring up some very good points. And I don't know if you covered it and I missed it, John, but there's some Republicans in the state of New Jersey that are actually suing the governor to overturn his lockdown on the state of New Jersey. So it'll be interesting to see if the courts in New Jersey do the same thing that the courts in Wisconsin did and mandate that businesses can reopen if they want to.
Well, I can tell you there is a large group of collaborators that are plotting something very similar here in New York, and there could be some big news on it as early as this weekend. But it sure seems like, and then they seem to have a pretty smart approach. It wasn't like, hey, just break the law and go do it. They're trying to, push the governor to do certain things, I guess, and allow a phased reopen. I think here in New York, there are some people that are getting antsy that just want to reopen regardless of the consequences.
Well, I think you're right. There's a lot of frustration all the way around. Business owners, workers, and ordinary individuals. I can tell you, I'm frustrated that I haven't been able to get a haircut in 3 months.
Yeah. There's also 3 very brave and daring attorneys here in Staten Island. One Mario Gallucci, one Mark Fonte, and one Louis Gellermino, who have basically come out and said, business owners that have received summonses or got some kind of criminal action taken against them, this group of 3 attorneys right here in Staten Island, New York, are going to get out there and represent people for nothing and try to stand up for their rights, which most people need some help in that area. They're afraid to do things because they don't have an attorney. And I praise those guys for doing that, and I'm hoping to join up with them and try to get a larger movement going.
If you talk with those attorneys, I also have a number of pieces of election litigation that I would love an attorney to represent me on for free. So maybe you can talk with them about that. Maybe they, figure what's one more legal case.
Yeah, and on that front, I noticed we talked about it a few weeks back that they were trying to cancel the New York State presidential primary, but a lawsuit there actually changed that, and it sounds like the presidential primary is back on, right?
No, it did not sound like it. Absolutely is. So if people haven't been following this, this is really rotten what they tried to do here. They tried to essentially, as John said, cancel the New York State Democratic primary. Bernie Sanders says, well, wait a minute, I still want delegates. I still want my guys to have a say in the platform and everything else. And that's what a presidential primary is. You're not voting for a candidate, you're voting for delegates. So he said, please don't cancel it. Please don't cancel it. The Board of Elections says, we don't care what you think. Even though you jump through hoops to qualify you and all your delegates to get on the ballot, we don't care. We're canceling it. Even though there are elections that are going to be taking place that day anyway, we're canceling it. Andrew Yang did one better. He actually went to federal court to stop the Board of Elections from doing this. Won in federal court. The Board of Elections said, you know what? Even though we have elections scheduled that day anyway, we don't want too high of a turnout. We're going to appeal what the federal court said. And now an appeals court has upheld the decision of this lower court, and there will in fact be a New York State Democratic primary. And I know we were talking with Aaron Foldenauer, I think last week about this, or earlier this week, about the governor tried to cancel 6 other elections, including the election for Queensborough president. It'll be interesting to see if the courts reinstate those elections. I am hoping, and I'm working on this afternoon after the show, I am hoping some other elections that the governor has canceled this year will be able to bring court action and get those elections reinstated as well.
So it's a bonanza of lawsuits for you and many in the political world. Frankie, I know I make a lot of mistakes. I don't know if I kept my act together today, but usually correct my mistakes in the end of the show. What the facts for today?
Yeah, well, the one egregious error, John, and it's so important that I point this out because once you lose credibility with your audience as someone that doesn't do the things they say they're going to do, we're all done for. There's no reason to keep watching. And you announced yesterday that one lucky viewer who shared our Facebook live stream, which people can watch on Facebook, just type in Liquid Lunch TV, would be getting some
Pudding.
vanilla pudding today.
That's right. I got the deck of cards right here. I got the deck of cards in front of me right now, and I try to get a handle from Jess on how many shares we had yesterday, and the best Jess could do is say 4, and one of them was you, and I see 15 shares. How many shares do we have? A lot of people are sharing in private, Frank, so we can't see who shared.
I see.
I don't think you should win the vanilla. I mean, you could win the vanilla pudding. I don't know if you like even vanilla pudding. But who were the other 3? Let's pick between the other 3 that we know about. My mom. Can my mom win? She shared.
And who else?
Who else?
William Frisk.
William Frisk.
That was it.
So Frank, Mom, and William Frisk. All right. So you know what? I'm gonna just arbitrarily eliminate those folks, and I appreciate the shares, but I don't know who shared if you're private to us. So you got to be following, I guess, Liquid Lunch. We're public.
Yeah,
but,
you got to follow us, and then maybe tag us when you share it. So this way it comes up that way.
Okay. Or if you comment on the page. No, you know what? William Frisk shared for us yesterday. And we are going to contact him, and we are going to find out his address, and I am going to send him a case in honor of today being National Vanilla Pudding Day. I'm going to send William a fresh case of vanilla pudding. Is that
Very
good,
nice.
Frank?
I think that's good. And one mistake, and I think it's really just misspeaking, not a factual error, that Roger Stone made, is he referred to Richard Grinnell as the director of information. He, of course, was the director of national intelligence, a very different role. And it's very important to mention that today because, as we broke during this show yesterday, the Senate just confirmed the president's new nominee to be director of national intelligence, John Radcliffe. And one of the things I'd love to do in a future show, John, is explore whether or not we even need a director of national intelligence.
Right. It sounds like another layer.
Exactly. And it's a costly one at that. Maybe we could get into that next week.
All right. We're going to check all that out next week and more. Frankie and I will be back with you here for more Liquid Lunch on Tuesday. Monday, we're taking a little Memorial Day observation, but I will see Frankie for production meeting later. We'll see you on Tuesday right here on Liquid Lunch.